Hey guys, this is J360. I'm just gonna point out a couple of things that I've been using with Sektor that I don't really see too many other people use. And, I know everybody's all up on this Sektor train right now, but I've pretty much been using the robot since day one. Not to say that I'm old school OG, but I've always loved Sektor. I think Sektor is an amazing character. But let me go over a couple of the gimmicks that I don't really see anybody use. Number one is the one that I know I'll probably get flamed for, is the leg stands. A lot of people say, well, I don't like doing leg stands because I can get poked out of it and all the sorts. But the one thing I like about leg stands is that it can cause your opponent to panic. And I'll show you how. For me, I like using leg stances off of a jumping punch. Reason being, I get a mix-up when it gets blocked. Like this, everybody knows you have the high-low off of the leg stance. But the thing is, a lot of people usually just like seeing leg stance and going high, and for some reason people never block it low, they just go for the high. When you do it, you can still go for the, for the same old 3-4, and then just, make them think, I guess he's capable, make them respect the fact that you can do two different attacks. But you also have the grab option out of it, which I really don't see a lot of people do. When you do it, this right here makes them look for an attack. So when you do it, you can cancel from a grab, from a dash, instantly. Up knee into dash is almost unnoticeable. You won't even be able to really block it. The second you see that knee start lifting, it's pretty hard to do anything. Because you still have a little bit of an advantage from the jumping punch, and then they see that coming out, and they want to respect the fact that they can't poke in between that. So another thing is the fact that this, when in that range where you can clip someone with your attacks, is scary because right here at this range, you're just outside of down 1 range. And when you lift, you can actually go over down 3s and some down 4s. You can't go over down 1s though. Down 1s will always hit. You can do things like if you get a jumping punch from this range, or they block a jumping kick or a jumping punch, you can dash back, bait the down 1 and punish with a 11% attack. And you can do things like this. They try to attack, bam, move back. Or flamethrower. You can range yourself in for a flamethrower. I mean, you could do the same thing, just dashing back like that, but this kind of frees up at least half a second for you to do something. Because some people have to respect it. They just have to. If not, they're going to keep getting blown up all day by combos like this. They'll just keep getting just murked by it. Another thing that this enables you to do is you can pretty much cancel anything out of this. Except for that. That was one thing I wanted to go over. When using leg stance, you have to be careful with canceling out the uppercut because it will reset the Xbox. You have to be very, very, very careful. That may be one of the main things you don't want to do out of this knee stance. And I'm not too sure if NRS is going to patch it or anything. I've only been able to do that on Xbox 360 so far. But, yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to show you guys. Not so early on, but you have to be really careful. It only takes place after a couple of leg stances. After you do leg stances a couple of times, and then you go for a tele uppercut. I know this makes the knee stance look horrible now, but this only happens on Xbox 360. I'm talking about the overall game, even in competitive play on PS3. You should be able to do that with no problem. But with Sektor, I do feel that it is underused. And that it can be a very good tool, because if you're worried about getting poked out, you might as well just go for your block strings and then nothing else. I mean, there's no risk. Then you're not going to really gain any high reward. you don't risk anything.
Sektor. Cyrax.
With Sektor, one thing that you can do that no other character can do unless they cancel into a stance move with a normal, which I don't think anyone else has, is combo a flamethrower or a special move off of a jumping punch. You're not supposed to be able to combo this at all. Even if I try to do it up here, it'll just make me do a forward 2, right? Instead, if you do this fast enough, you can actually combo. You can combo a flamethrower like that. It's kind of hard, it's really impractical, but it's just going to show you that he can do a couple of things off of it. Now, the more practical use of up knee is it gives you a little bit of extra time to combo things on the ground. Let's say, for instance, you have to dial in the combo in the air to do back 3. If you just dial in the up knee, you can wait just a little bit of time and then do it. As you can hear my dial, those I dial it in really early. This I can stall a little bit and it can still combo. Same thing with this. But pretty much you can actually knee stance into anything. So I can do knee stance, dash forward, 1-2, back 1, and it'll combo. Mind you, I just hit a jumping punch and dashed forward. Same thing with knee stance, dash forward, well, not dash forward, but you can dash cancel into back 2 and it combos. Or I believe back 1 as well. Or it might be too slow, who knows. But yeah, it's too slow. But you can pretty much combo that into most of your moves. I think you can combo it into a down 4 also. Yeah. You can combo into a down 4 into advantage. If that even gives you much advantage, I'm not too sure. You can combo pretty much into anything. If any of you know what his most advantageous moves are, then abuse them off of this if you can. Yeah. Oh, okay, that combos too. Great. So you get +6 off of this forward 2 if it combo, what it hits. And I think this is the first time I've ever seen a combo for it. But yeah, the knee stance is really good because it enables you to do certain things off of jumping punch that once it becomes habit to do, then it really shouldn't be a problem for you to do it. It can be a bit tricky at times when you're in the heat of the moment and you just want to go in for this and all of that. But best thing really is just use it, pretend that it doesn't hit, and go for grabs or go for pulls. And if you want to be extra fancy, you can go for these combos straight off of it. Oh yeah, by the way, that's another thing I was going to get into is the whiffing on wake up to crossover wake ups with Sektor. He has combos with back 3-4 that make him whiff everything and cross up. So let me show you this, for instance. Oh god, this is a meterless setup I have. It sets up for a grab attempt that turns them around. If they roll, then this is the worst that happens. Oops. This is my last try. Whoa. You just get a grab attempt again. So, whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. It is good, though, against certain players who don't roll. There's a lot of players that don't tech roll when they hit the ground, for God knows why. You should always be pressing the button when you hit the ground. yeah, those are just a couple of the things. That and I do see a lot of sectors use this, but I just want to go over it for a quick second. Is close missile. Close missile, when somebody starts pressuring you down, can counterattack anything that someone is doing. Like, let's say, for instance, you do this, and then you pressure in, you go in to do, oh, wow. You do a close missile, and they go in to pressure you, they're going to get hit by it, because it hits very close to them. Right here, this is the spot where it goes in, and you get a free combo punish. You can even bait them to hit you sometimes. And just go in and get the 1-2 back one. This I like doing is just advancing with a mid missile sometimes, depending on how close you are. You know, depending on really what you play with your opponent. It becomes a form of footsies when you start using close missiles to make them not want to come to you, and mid missiles to kind of make them walk back. And if they notice that you're doing a lot of close missiles, you can actually start doing the far missiles, so they will walk back into it. Or when they're far screen, you throw these out, so they advance into it, they block it, and then they have to move forward. Well, they have to block the other missile. One last thing is homing missile grants that. Once they block this, they have to block that. So I'm going to try it with a ducking opponent. That's just going to block these two, and then I'm going to have them unblock. The last one can whiff, as you can see, but it's one of those things where you have to time it perfect. You have to be a Jedi to just start letting go of it immediately, because you're getting barraged by missiles when you're doing crap like that, and it's just one of those things you'd rather just block than do. I mean, it gains Sektor just a bit of meter back. Let me see exactly how much. Yeah, it gains them about a third of meter back. So I mean, it's not too bad if you want to kind of chip them out towards the end of the round and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all for Sektor right now. I have a couple other things I'm working on with them, but it's really nothing.